three.
Hi!
Hey! It's everybody here from Anatomy of Family and the Anatomy of Marriage podcast, minus Daddy. But I wanted to talk to you guys about Tuff's head injury because it was so crazy, and I want to show you how I sewed it up. I did hair sutures. But do you guys want to tell your version of how the story went?
Yeah.
What happened at first, Tuff? Tell us what you experienced.
So I was eating the pears, and I went to go on the hammock, and then I unattached the thing yesterday, and I forgot. So because I was trying to
unattached a part of the hammock.
Yeah. So then I sat down, and then the pressure of my weight pushed the whole thing like that, and then
it hit him right on the head. And then I heard you screaming bloody murder when I was outside. You heard it too. What'd you hear?
So you were just like on your computer and I was just going like, and you were like, I heard a scream.
Right? Yeah, we heard him scream, and I looked outside, and all I see is him with his hand on his head, and there's blood just pouring out of his face. It's all in his teeth. It was very, very freaky. No thanks.
I was like, I cut my tongue.
You got your cut on your tongue? What did you experience?
I was just in my bed, and I was just in there, and then I heard like metal clashing, and I heard, and then I came out there.
You were asleep, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, you were asleep. It was pretty
like,
intense. And then we no thanks. We immediately called our neighbor, my best friend Pam, who is a doctor. She came over. We called Grandma, and we put a cold, wet paper towel on it to stop the bleeding, and there was a lot of bleeding. And then we decided we need to make it so it was not so gaping and woundy. But I wanted to show you how I did this. So I had heard of hair sutures before, and hair sutures are if you injure your head, you look down. If you injure your head, you can tie your hair so that it holds the scalp together. But I couldn't do it on his hair because it's so like soft, it undoes itself. So what I did was a French braid, a super tiny French braid, and I tightened it as I went. But at first I put honey on it to make it stick and as an antibiotic. And honey is really good on wounds, like raw, natural, organic honey. So it was like a total hippie mom moment. And how did it feel to get your scalp braided shut?
Painful.
Yeah? Did you trust that we would do the right thing?
Yeah.
Yeah? Did it feel good? What else do you guys think about this experience?
I think it was gross because I watched the
Yeah?
they were sitting on the picnic table, and then I just saw Pam literally like.
Right. She was pushing on his cut. It was pretty intense, but he did a really good job. And we just wanted to share that with you. I wanted to tell you about the hair suture idea. So in case you're ever in the woods, and actually we have a story about that with Daddy, with Seth. He accidentally cut his head open with an axe when he was trying to show off throwing double-sided axes. He cut the back of his head open, and he didn't know about hair sutures, and he could have just tied his hair together to make the scalp parts draw closer, but instead they went to the hospital, which I'm not saying that the hospitals are bad. But if you're ever in the woods and you cut your head open and there is no other help, do hair sutures. It's amazing. And if you're a doctor, don't get mad at me because all the other doctors thought it was really cool, and our neighbor is a doctor. Anyone want to say anything else?
I also got my tetanus shot.
You got your tetanus shot. He had to get a tetanus shot because a dirty pole smacking you and cracking your head open.
After
ate
that,
you.
I ate
Son
my
gave him
pears.
5 pounds of Jello.
Right, and we got Jello from the neighbor. You got a toy from your cousin.
Tomato.
Right.
He
All
gave,
right.
He gave me a little Fortnite llama. He had his own, but fighting over it.
Right.
So then he bought me his. It was only $12.
He got you a Fortnite llama as a gift. Oh, everybody show your intention bracelets real fast before we go.
Doug had one.
All right, let's tell everybody, have an amazing day, be intentional, and you rock.
You're
Wait,
rock.
You rock.
wait, what's that?
Okay, what? Oh, Doug had an intention bracelet too.
But he took it off. It says
I will
It
not
says,
chew on
I do not chew on anything. All right, we love you guys.
exclamation on everything.
Ready? Bye.
Bye.